I am tired, but I need to get this video out and all these thoughts off my chest. So I'm just going to be doing whatever and rambling on about how I think censorship is not a good thing in almost any circumstance. Okay? As you may or may not know, this is Stellar Blade, and if you know anything about the internet, this game has been going around the entire Twitter sphere over some controversies about how this game was censored in very minor ways, mind you. Nothing egregious. Still a very sexy, very like solid game from what it wanted to be. But you'll find a lot of people online deeming videos like this one and others saying that, oh, we just want to see titties. That's not the point of this video. That's not the point of people's outrage for it, and that's not the point of the petition people are trying to sign to try and get people to fix the game and return it back to the state it was supposed to be in. Now, the problem with censorship, the reason why I am pissed about it, the reason why a lot of people are, is because at the end of the day, in this situation, it is a company, not a church, not the government, not our parents, a company whose sole purpose is to give us things that we like, the consumers, so we pay them money so that they can stay afloat, and it's like this mutual transaction thing. This company, Sony, and other companies who practice censorship are trying to enforce their own willpower and their own moral authority over what we can or cannot consume. And it is ridiculous because this game is rated M for mature, which I believe is 17 and up. We are adults buying this game. We are not children. We are not a bunch of like followers to the Sony church or anything. We are adults making our own decision on what we want to spend our hard-earned money on, right? Yet Sony comes in here and is like, "No, that's too much boob for you. We need to turn it down because we know that this shit is bad for you." Even though that's up to debate and personal, more of a personal opinion than anything. They're like, "We don't want you exposed to this kind of stuff, so we're gonna tone it down for you." We are adults, for fuck's sake. We are adults spending our money on what we want. We do not need a private company like Sony to morally grandstand and tell us what we and we cannot consume and what is appropriate for adults to spend their money on. That is the problem here. That's why this is so messed up. And the reason why I'm so mad about this situation is because the dev team for Stellar Blade kept advertising this game as being uncensored. They didn't want it to be censored. They are forcing their moral values on the artists who are giving them the products to make money on and on the customers who are giving them money to stay afloat. That's not right. That's not what you should be doing if you are this kind of company. That's not what you should be doing in an open market at all. You're not a church, you are not the government, and you are certainly not our parents. If we want to spend our money on like a game that's complete porn or complete gore or whatever, that's our prerogative. That's what we want. That's what we want to do. We're adults. We can do that. That's not for Sony to decide for us. Now, there is something to keep in mind though. If Sony doesn't like the game enough, if Sony doesn't like things in the game, they can ask the developers, be like, "Hey, can we change a couple things because it doesn't fit with our personal values? We don't want to be associated with something too bad, right?" Then sure, they can ask the dev team, "Hey, can we change this?" And the dev team can either say, "Yeah, we can change that. That's fine," or "No, we want to keep it this way. This is our intention. We don't want to change it." And if they don't want to change it, then it should not be on the platform. That's the point. You should not force someone to put their stuff on your platform in an altered way just because you want it to be altered. If you can't reach an agreement mutually, then don't work together. Don't release it on the platform. And that may sound bad, yes, because a lot of projects might not actually be greenlit to go on a platform like Sony PlayStation or Microsoft Xbox or something like that. Yeah, but That's just kind of how things need to work, you know? You can't just force someone to do what you want them to. Like, I get it. The dev team for Stellar Blade did have to like comply and work if they wanted the game on PlayStation. But like I said, they advertised this game as being uncensored up until the release date. That's clearly not what they wanted to do. That's clearly what the dev team wanted with the game. They wanted it to be uncensored. So I do not believe in any good conscience that Sony asked them nicely to do it and they complied. I do think that they both tried to force them to do it or threatened to get their game completely removed, which again they should have done if that's really like an impassable thing for Sony, which is also hypocritical because people have talked about other games like Baldur's Gate 3, for example, being far more sexualized and whatnot. But that's neither here or there. The point is, if a company really doesn't want something to be representative on their platform, they should not just have it on their platform. Full stop. They should not force the the um the dev team working on it. They should not force the consumers paying the money to accept it. What is this? Sorry, I'm playing a little bit while actually doing this. Um, but that's why this is so messed up and so aggravating for people like me because we do not want to be told what we should or should not consume with our money when we are adults and spending our money that we work for on to just be entertained. It's, it's just like we're not kids. We're not your children. We are adults. We are making our own decisions when we were working to just relax after we get home. And you're over here telling us, oh, something's too crude for us. Fuck you. You're not our dad. You're not our mom. You're not our church. You're not our government. You have no moral authority to tell us what we can and cannot consume. That's messed up. Your that's not your place. You're a fucking company. You're a private company. Get out of what I should or should not be doing. Focus on what you think represents you, sure, but don't change things that I want to spend money on just because you think you know better than me or have a more moral authority to do so, because you don't have a moral authority to do so. You're a private company whose sole existence is to entertain me so that you don't get put out of business. Because if you're not entertaining me, I stop paying you money, and when I stop paying you money, your business goes down. And when I say me, I don't mean me specifically. I'm not like paying Sony billions of dollars to keep it afloat or anything. I mean like me as in the consumer, you know? Me, you, the person watching this. Yeah, the it's so aggra- aggravating and nonsensical that they would go against the people giving them money. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, and at the end of the day, the customer is always right. Those are two true statements that these companies are starting to forget, because if we stop paying the money because we're so frustrated with how they're managing the things that we are spending our money on, well then they're kind of screwed. And I kind of hope that these practices start dying down because these companies will realize that because people will eventually stop paying them money to keep them afloat. They're going to be out of a job because we don't want to spend our money with them because they keep doing these stupid, aggravating, and downright insulting practices. You know, you can't just tell adults what they should or should not be allowed to watch, play, or consume or whatever with their own money. They're adults. They have their own autonomy. That's the whole point of being an adult. You have your own autonomy. Let us do what we want. And if you don't want something on your platform, don't have it on your platform. That's it. That's all. That's all there needs to be. Otherwise, just if the dev teams, if the artist, whoever you're working with, decides, yeah, I could change it, that's fine. Then that's fine. But clearly, the people working on this game did not feel that way because they were advertising that it was going to be uncensored. They were proud of it. And that's what made me want to pre-order the special edition of this game, because I stand people who just don't like to bow down to people on Twitter who freak out over the slightest bit of boob. Like, it's just it's the whole thing is so stupid, frustrating, and insulting to me and to a lot of people. And it's not, again, it's not that we just want to see titty because we can get titty anywhere else. Yeah, it's very stupid to say that's what we're upset about and that's what we care for, because it's not. It's the whole concept of these private companies coming in and trying to make us consume what they think is morally right when they have no authority to do so. Well, they have no, like, they have authority in a sense that they control the content that we are consuming, but they shouldn't be allowed that authority. They should not. It's not their position to be like, hey, this is what's good for you, this is what's bad for you, follow our moral high ground or whatever, because that's just not it. This is a private company. We pay them money to be entertained. It's just stupid. And yeah, I just wanted to rant about this because a lot of people have been talking about it. It's been like in my brain the entire time I try to stream this game, and I'm glad I got this off my chest. I'm sorry I stutter a lot sometimes, but yeah, that's just how I feel. There's a guy making a petition to try and undo the censorship, um, which I think you should do. Um, Also, one thing I think is important to mention here is that a lot of times censorship also includes cultural censorship, like changing how a certain culture behaves or something like that, or like just localization in general. I think is also stupid because if you try to make it culturally comfortable, as they say, culturally comfortable for an American audience to consume something outside of America, you're just erasing the culture from the other person and dictating what we can and cannot, think on, you're not, like, they're basically saying you're not allowed to see things from another perspective because you are so delicate and so coddled in this culture of America that you cannot possibly be exposed to something outside of our personal bubble. And I'm like, no, I want to think for myself. I want to be exposed to things. I want to learn. I want these people to have their voices heard across the world. It's not, again, it's not their place to dictate that. And it's downright insulting as an adult being told by a company, another group of adults who isn't affiliated with me personally, someone who I do not, a group of people that I do not personally respect on their ideals or anything like that. I respect them based on the entertainment that they provide me. I think I'm stuck. No, I'm good. Like, I don't get how this is such a contentious issue. There's people literally putting bounties, death threats, bountiful death threats on some guy who's trying to read, like, undo the censorship. And they're calling him weird because he just wants to see titty. No, that's not it. We just want integrity. We want to be respected as adults. We want our entertainment to be left the fuck alone by private companies who think that they know better than us when we're the ones giving them money so that they stay afloat. This whole thing is so messed up and stupid. I just had to come on here and rant and ramble about on it. My throat is, I don't think I'm streaming today, but yeah, that's the video. That's my thoughts. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I know it's quick and it's completely unstructured, but I need to get it out sometime. I've been busy and I've been trying to stream, but yeah, find that petition, go ahead and sign it, get this undone because this whole thing is, it's just, again, I just find it like insulting and belittling that they think I'm an adult but I can't be exposed to certain things because they think it's like, oh, this is too bad. I'm an adult. Let me do what I want to do. Screw you. You're not supposed to be in my business and saying what is right and what is wrong. You're not the government, you're not a church, and you aren't my parents. Thank you. Goodbye. And just let me play the games that I want, or let me consume the entertainment that I like, unimpeded. That's really what it is. And yeah, it's just this whole thing. It's got me so annoyed. I'm starting to like cycle my arguments here. So I think I'm gonna end up cutting it off, calling it. Thank you for listening, if indeed you are. Um, if you agree with what I say, share it around and try to like get other people to sign the petition. Maybe if we can like get this fixed. I don't think asking for a refund after paying for your money for a game like this is not. I don't think it's a good idea because if this game fails financially, that just makes people feel like, oh, it was not supposed to win. They would just take it as a victory, you know. So we shouldn't like be getting rid of. I can't shoot that. Stupid. Oh well. We should not be hurting the game financially. That's just not a thing we should be doing. But we should try to undo this and get companies to recognize that tampering with what we consume, adults consume, is not their place. Yes, they can pick and choose what represents them and what's on their platform, sure, but tampering with it forcefully against the wishes of the people making the content that we want to pay money for is not their place. And we should not be excusing that or allowing that. So I signed the petition, you guys go sign the petition, and hopefully we can get this rectified, and hopefully down the line we can get these companies to recognize that they're working for us. And if they don't make us happy, they're going to be out of business. And I am not happy being told what I should or should not be consumed morally by a group of people that I do not respect on that level. Okay? Yeah. Well, that's it. Sorry for rambling so much. This is the third ending, but this is the actual real ending. Um, I've said everything that I've wanted to say, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll be streaming, maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see.